Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Ursa and I have got a good game lined up for you on Deity Civ 6. In fact, this is almost a challenge to everybody. A little while ago we played a game where we tried to get the biggest population possible in our capital with the Incans, and we managed a pretty decent amount actually. Since then I have seen multiple attempts at it, and some really good attempts, including one by Sir Dux Lancelot. Now, if you haven't seen him as a YouTuber, I would strongly recommend it. He puts out some hilariously good stuff, but he has a bit of a reputation for making maps and breaking the game. He managed to produce a capital of 150 population. It was very impressive. But it got me thinking, can I build the biggest capital possible in an actual angry at-war game, in a proper deity game that I haven't changed the map on? This is a genuine spawned start. Can I get, say, over 100 population in the capital? And I'm throwing the challenge back at you. The game has to be played on deity, and you have to win the game. But apart from that, it's kind of up to you as to how you go about this. Options, scenarios, different game modes is yours to pick and turn on and off as you want. So for instance, I have spawned in an archipelago map. I have got a huge map, but with 8 players. I liked this combo from last game actually. So we've got 8 people trying to beat us in this map, but a lot of space to go and expand to. I have secret societies on. I've got heroes and legends on as well. I've got apocalypse mode turned off, as well as the dramatic ages, and I've also got the tech and civic shuffle turned off as well. The rules are simple. I have to get my capital as big as humanly possible. I have to play on deity and I have to win the game. To do that, I have to play in a very particular way. And firstly, you can see I've picked India. I very rarely play as India, but I've done this for a very specific reason. There are 3 things that dictate the size of the capital: housing, food, and amenities. From my last attempt, I discovered that housing, it's not a problem. The neighbourhood district is going to get you as much housing as you want. It is going to be huge because each neighbourhood district gets me 5 to 6 housing. That is comfortable. There is no problem with housing. By going for the Owls of Minerva, a secret society, and by building a lot of harbours and commercial hubs, trade routes are going to get me all the food that I want as well. It doesn't matter if I go democracy and start sending them to my own city-state suzerains or my own cities, I'd say to allies I should say, or going communism and sending them to my own cities. Both work. Both are good strategies. We'll get comfortably a lot of food. The limiting factor is amenities, and that's why we're playing as a huge map to start with. I need as many amenities on this map as possible. Amenities are kind of quirky things that really don't matter in the game a huge amount. They give minuses and pluses on a small percentage scale to your cities as you build them, and they make decent sort of differences. It's something to keep an eye on. But when you're playing for a population challenge, amenities become a real problem, because if you lose too many and you start dropping to -8 amenities in a city, it practically stops growing. It doesn't matter how much food and how much housing you plug into it, amenities become a real problem. The issue as well is if I want to get to 100 pop, realistically I need about 50 amenities in a city, in one city. That's very difficult to do, and we need to start planning this game basically so that we get amenities. That is the number one thing we want to be flooding into our capital. Hence India. India are brilliant. This Dharma ability gives you not only the follower belief bonuses in a city for every religion that has at least 1 follower there, but also an amenity for every religion with at least 1 follower. There will be 7 religions on this map. If I can get at least 1 follower of every single one of the 7 religions into my capital, that's +7 amenities. That gives me +14 population because it's doubled. You only need 1 amenity for every 2 pop. There are all kinds of ways as well. If I get every luxury in the game, that's a good 24 to 28 amenities, depending on which ones I get from great merchants as well, so that's a really big improvement. Entertainment complexes and water parks are other ways that I can start building things like that into my empire as well. The other thing I need to try and do is get national parks in as well, because each national park in a city gives 2 amenities. That's another 4 population. So if you imagine, I want to kind of have my capital round, have 3 tiles around it where I have neighbourhoods and other districts that I need, and then 2 tiles of 3 space around it where I've got national parks, just as many of them as possible. I also need to think about wind conditions, because the population is almost going to be limited a little bit by turns as well. Towards the later stages of the game, you can get a population every 2 or 3 turns once you start flooding food into a city. That's not a problem. But if someone wins, well, that is a problem. And because of that, this is going to be an extremely aggressive game. I want to conquer the map. I want to be pretty much the sole person in control of the map. That means that no one can even think about getting a domination victory or a culture victory over me because I will be dominant. I can stomp on anybody that's trying to get a science victory and just wipe them out of the game. Religious victory is not going to be a thing because my empire will be so big that no one will be able to convert me wholly. And actually, I need to micromanage all 7 religions in my nation to make sure that I've got all 7 religions in one place. The only issue is diplomatic victories, especially if I've ended up taking over the world and my diplomatic favour is really, really negative. This could be the issue for me, so I need to be able to win the game at a moment's notice if needed in order to achieve the victory for myself, but I also need to be able to stop diplomatic victories, probably by taking out anybody that looks like they're about to win the game. It's going to be a game of micromanagement, because for me, the perfect thing would be a score victory. If I could pull off a score victory, I think the Maori are in the game, aren't they? I think, are they the only people that start with +4? Actually, no, some people start with other text, don't they? But it might be that they're there. I can't remember who starts with 4. But I need to make sure that basically I get as close to a score victory as possible. I mean, it would be brilliant if I won a score victory. That's what I'm aiming for, because that gives me the full 500 turn whack in order to make the biggest capital possible. One thing I do know is that I need to improve all the tiles I can in my capital. So whilst this looks like a pretty interesting start in the fact that I've got a lovely bay, that's not good enough for me. I need to basically move away from the coast inland. So I'm going to actually follow this river a little bit in, because I'd like to be able to work 3 tiles around my capital. Maybe if I can have 1 tile to stick a harbour or a water park in, something like that. Maybe a harbour would actually be quite good to send trade routes out of the capital. That would be nice. So we'll kind of move our people back, but it looks like we might have quite a lot of space behind us to settle in. City-states are going to be a slight problem. Ideally, it would be great... Oh, hello. Oh, we'll come back to that in a second. Ideally, it would be great if my capital had a full 5 tiles around it so that it could grow effectively. That would be really handy. There's a CAD, actually. That's intriguing. Annoyingly, I haven't found the Owls of Minerva. That's a little bit of a problem. But it means I can't really shunt any further in. This is a nice place. I might actually end up taking a CAD out of the game. For now, it's not going to be a problem. It will be a problem later once I start wanting to get into that 4th and 5th tile. But this gives me the maximum space kind of in and around. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles. I mean, maybe I could settle a little further down, but I need the housing. Ideally, the housing would be what I really want to sort of pick up here. I could go 1 tile further down and move closer to the natural wonder. That would give me more scope to doing national parks, and I could build the aqueduct at some point, but it's just having to rely on getting the housing early stages of the game, although the stepwell would help me do that. But now I think in order to get the decent start going, that looks like a decent enough place to settle. It doesn't give me the best starting tile. I need to kind of buy over and get some of these tiles because there's a wonder down in that direction and it looks pretty cool. Thing is, I do want to move a little bit away. I'm going to go for the late game thing. I'm going to move away. I'm going to move towards the National Wonder, the Hermetic Order. I don't need them. Definitely not. But it seems weird that I'm avoiding food. So housing, I should say. But housing will come. I'm thinking late game. Every decision I make is about late game. Because of that, I think Akkad has got to go. There's no way I want that city to remain there. One of the main things this start is missing is something that I can put a camp on. Because I really, really wanted to try and go for the Temple of Artemis. That thing gives you a lot of amenities, and I can combine that with Maori, the hero, because he can put resources down. I need him as a priority. I'm going to be looking for him as well. So to that extent, I think getting a monument down just so that I can get his project done nice and quickly, that would be pretty cool. Believe it or not, I'm not actually going to try and rush my own religion here. It's not worth it. I actually need to get pottery involved to try and get some housing into my city. One thing I will do very quickly is I'm just going to purchase in this tile that 4 culture and 6 gold. Yeah, that's going to help me get through the early stages of the game very quickly. Gilgamesh. Nice. He actually couldn't have been a better companion. Look at that. Again, I don't expect to remain friends with anyone through the stages of the game, but making friends with him immediately means I've at least got myself a little bit of safety because he's a strong ally to have. The other thing that's amazing is look at all the appeal around my capital. That will be really, really handy. One thing I need to keep an eye on as well is looking 5 tiles out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to start planning my national parks. That's going to be the important thing, so it can go this far out. So, for instance, that's going to be 1 national park. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles, so it's kind of in range. It maximizes the use of the land, and then means I can build national parks kind of next to it. I warn you now, this is going to be an incredibly busy map, but then I can put another national park there, for instance, a 3rd one there, and a 4th one there. I'm just sort of planning it out, because it means that this tile, within range of my capital, well, that is space for a district of some kind, because I can't put anything in that sort of area. I don't need to do this for the whole map, but it just helps me to define where I can put my district sort of within that 3 tile radius, because I need to make use of the land that I've got. I'm also using these markers to mark out about 7 tiles away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't want a city built within that radius. Any city built closer than these 2 markers is running a risk at eating in to that 5 tile radius. I don't want to let that happen. My capital is going to be very district light, probably. The only districts I want to put down are districts that really help amenities. That's the sole purpose of the capital. My other cities are going to take up the slack doing everything else. So because the population is going to be so huge in Pingala, with this city, I'm tempted to Pingala start it. Magnus would be pretty useful there, because I could use provision, get the growth in the city to start with. So I might start with Magnus, but once I've got another industrial hub, I'll intend to put Pingala into it pretty quickly. So we'll get provision going, and then we'll switch over later. This city though really is, it's a battle against hunger. So I managed to put a pasture down and a farm down, but now in 10 turns I should be able to put a stepwell down. That will give me another housing, an extra food, plus an additional food because it's next to a farm. So this will be an amazing tile once the stepwell goes down there. Nanadol. All kinds of city-states going on over here now already. I'm going to quickly jump into political philosophy. If I can get a government going, that'll help me just a little bit more. Got another governor as well. I'm just looking for the Isles of Minerva. I found, this 3rd city-state I did find, but I haven't been able to do anything with it. Open borders, they're going to give me tons of stuff for that. Yes, go for it. I will take your money, sir. See, we're going to let everybody else get the religions. All I need is 1 population of each religion in my capital, which will be easy because my capital is going to have insane population. So plenty of space for that. I am just treating myself to surplus logistics, about plus 20% growth in the city. It'll make a small difference, but it's a difference nonetheless. So we go, finally, the stepwell goes down. Plop! Bit of era score. Oh, that's a good tile. That is a lovely tile. Now we could get a builder and city growth rate of 10% higher, but it's not needed. I don't think city growth is going to be the issue. I'm going to go for River Goddess because of the plus 2 amenities the city gets if I have a holy site adjacent to a river. Not only will that help me grow early doors, but I also have, well, a bunch of river tiles that I can work out and see where I can build districts, really. This is going to be so mathematical to work out exactly where I can put all of my national parks. Like, I kid you not, this video will come with some sort of warning. It's all of this northern territory has got all the appeal. This is really good, but essentially it means that my districts have got to kind of stick around this sort of rough area, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can be building more things out in this direction, but I need a couple of districts. So I think this tile here, this holy site might be best placed on that tile. That leaves an aqueduct here. Oh, I don't know. It's a toughie. It is a toughie. But anyway, as tempting as it would be to settle on the other side of this wonder, I just can't afford to for the long game. So my settler's going to head... It's going to head east, I think. That's going to be the best thing for it to do at this precise moment. Political philosophy. I'm going to stick with Classical Republic for now. Although I could go for Autocracy at the moment, because that would give me, at least 1 yield for everything in my capital at the moment. I want to switch back to Classical Republic before I upgrade. The problem is Autocracy doesn't come with very many good policy cards, so I don't think it's worth it. I think Classical Republic is probably the way to go. Just allows me to get builders, settlers, urban planning, all of these things going just to help me to improve my capital. Just because I'm putting national parks down, that doesn't mean I can't improve these tiles. That's fine. It's just I don't want to put districts down on them. You see, this actually, I don't have enough space to get 7 tiles away from my capital in this direction. So, yeah, settling in that direction may not be the best idea. Plus, I'm very near the south of the map here. I think Tundra starts pretty soon, so yeah, I got to think about where to settle, actually. There we go, Isles of Minerva. I finally found them. Okay, next time I get a governor, going straight to that. Arabia, who actually have started friendly with me. Sure. I mean, okay, that sounds fair. Yep, they want to be friends as well, like immediately. That's cool. Free inquiry is always a good one. I like getting Eurekas. They're easy to get comparatively to everything else. Sailing is important though. I think I've got to sail to get out of this little space and out and away. I'm going to have to use heroes to do a little bit of early game war, I think. And yeah, Gilgamesh has got to be taken out pretty quickly, I think. Luckily for me though, Kish, Uruk and Shurapak are all away from 7 tiles away from my city, so none of those need to be raised. I could steal all these cities. I could head down into the tundra. I just don't think there's going to be any good cities down there. So I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go right on this coastal tile. It's a little bit rubbish, like admittedly, but it is just about out the way. I might lose like a tile or two, but I mean, I just don't want the growth, but I might have to sacrifice a national park or two just to get at least one city down here. Pragmatism. Otherwise, you know, I'm not going to get out of this like little joint. Military training is good for me though, because I believe military training is where I get, yeah, War of Territorial Expansion, so that will help. Yeah, absolutely, this feels like a little bit of a wasted city, but it's about as good as I'm going to get until I go to war, so yeah, for now, this it's fine. It's fine. I just don't want it to grow too much in this direction. It will, inevitably, but if I can keep the culture nice and low, I might get away with it. My Maori play, however, it's not going to work very well if I can't get a camp in to get the Temple of Artemis. That's the only problem. So I might actually have to get another hero that's really good at early war, like Beowulf, for instance, would be fantastic at running through these people. So now that Calcutta has got sailing, I'm about to build 2 fishing boats, which will help me to boost celestial navigation. I can go to shipbuilding really quickly as well. Own 2 galleys. That's not too bad, actually. I'm earning a lot of gold per turn at the moment, and galleys are 260 gold, so I can get enough gold to buy those in about 13 turns. So that would help me to get some better ships to go to war with. But I think, realistically, I've got to focus on getting enough materials in to go to war with Gilgamesh really quickly, because I've got to get more cities. Cities are important for me right here. Because of that, I think a Varu rush is almost essential. Yeah. Adjacent enemy units receive -5 combat strength. It's got to be done, isn't it? I think there's no choice in the matter. You can see very nicely as well, 3 religions have already been picked. Feed the Worlds, choral music and warrior monks have all been taken. That's okay. We don't need to worry about it. As long as all 7 religions get picked, I'm happy. Now I need to connect my capital up with Calcutta, just purely because I need the trading post so I can send all of the gold out. I'm just wondering if it's worth purchasing a settler. I mean, that would be something that would be quite good to do, but there's nowhere to settle. We've got it. I think war is our only option with this, so I think getting Pingala in, making sure we've got lots of culture in the capital. Yeah, getting Pingala in has got to be important for us, actually. So you can see I'm getting military training so I can get my super war going, which is a good thing. But I think the other thing I need to think about doing maybe is going for the Reformed Church to get myself wars of religion. That would be entertaining. There we go. The +1 food and the +1 production doesn't seem like a very good deal, but it helps. It all helps just to keep the capital nice and hungry. You can see as soon as the holy site gets dropped, that's 2 more housing and 2 more amenities for the capital. This is not bad. I've got 9 housing considering I didn't actually settle near freshwater at all. So here's a trick that you can pull off. If they're willing to pay 5 gold per turn to open borders at the beginning of the game, you can always try this. Lower the gold per turn by 1 and put 20 diplomatic favour in. At the beginning of the game, the AI values this to be almost 0. Take advantage of it and just store it up for later. It's amazing that Gilgamesh has only got 200 military strength. I just don't understand why they've got so little. I think I've got to take advantage of it. I have to. It's too important. I think Varus, if I can buy maybe at least one of them with gold, that would be good. But I can't believe I haven't found a single hero so far So heroic tales has got to be a good thing. Maybe I should put one galley into the sea. I think I should. Only because, and the reason I'm thinking this is not only because of the era score, but there's just a chance that it'll get a hero for me. So I found some more land over here. That's got to be a good thing. And Kamasi, I can make a suzerain of. Oh, Anansi. Okay, now I can use them to generate 90 science and 80 culture. That is really, really good. But they do also have 40 range strength. It's not the best. It's not the best. They're a good hero, but I just don't know if it's like my first hero. Do you know what I mean? I need someone that's going to be really good. I just found another continent, and I still didn't find another hero. Like, come on. Now, Oya is quite good. She is able to heal your units, do damage to enemy units, and I think she's slightly stronger. Yeah, melee strength of 44. She's not really who I wanted. I won't lie. I can't lie about such things. I really wish we've got better options. Heroic Tales is only 5 turns. I'm going to have to risk it. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I'm going to have to. So I've just got horseback riding. You can see Islam I now have one follower of, which means I get an extra immunity. I'm on +3 immunities and 12 housing. Hungry Town is doing well at the moment. It's doing very, very well. And this Varu looks magnificent. 480 gold. I can do that. I just need something to trade. That would be a real plus for me. I don't have anything to trade right now. Look at this. My galley is just sailing into the world and it hasn't found anything. There's nothing here. Oh, come on. Give me something. Give me anything. I need a better hero. I need Hercules. Beowulf would do. Cardiff. I've met Cardiff. And then there's Brazil. Okay. Did I meet any more heroes? Nope. No more heroes because of them. Fine. That's okay. Come on. Beowulf. Right, he'll do. He will do. He's fantastic. So, let's get the dedication to Beowulf done. I'm going to send Beowulf and 1 elephant over, and hopefully they will be enough. Okay, Gilgamesh, I mean, you are Gilgabro. You are brilliant. But it will not stop me from denouncing you, because I need to denounce you so that I can trigger this in 5 turns. Declare war of territorial expansion. Oh yeah, I think I need to have 2 of their cities within 10 tiles of mine, which I believe I can do. That should be fine. Oh, Brazil are really desperate. Hang on, there we go, look at that, 39 gold per turn from Brazil. That is the sort of deal I want. I will, however, take some of it up front. That is a good deal. And that means now I can, in theory, get the Varu in. Oh my goodness, yes. And here is Beowulf as well. Brilliant. Okay, the 2 are going to sort of just make their way to the front line. I might be able to get another Varu soon as well. I will take this opportunity just to put down a government plaza. I think that would be a good one for me to do. It gets me the governor that I need to start thinking about getting Pingala into this city. I'd like Magnus actually to switch over to Calcutta now. That would be quite good. It's really good that Sumeria has actually got their religion going. The follower belief's good as well. Jesuit education combined with Islam, which is choral music. I could get a good combination of beliefs flowing through here. If I pick up Judaism, and I'm basically going to start culturing every single religion. I want every religion in my nation, not just like 1 or 2. Oh, hello. Okay, Akkad, your troops are everywhere at the moment, and I don't approve of that. Having reminded myself, I need 2 cities in range of 2 of their cities within 10 tiles. So I do need to settle a second city, or end up taking one. So yeah, I did want the War of Territorial Expansion, because if I do that, I get +5 combat strength and 2 movement. So it makes a big difference. So do I wait? Do I wait whilst they clearly tech themselves up? How much is a settler these days? 440, 2 turns away from being able to do that, and I've got a settler about to be produced here as well. So I don't know. I feel like a formal war would be a mistake, but I might have to do it just because at this stage the territorial war won't work. Territorial war will work at later stages. I kind of really hoped they would have settled a bit closer to me, and then I would have had, like, Calcutta is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It reaches to about here. So really, I wish they'd settled in this sort of region, which I'm surprised they haven't actually. At any rate, now that I've unlocked the Isles of Minerva, I'll join them when I'm ready to. But for now, let's stick Pingala in Hungry Town. And I think, whilst the shrine would give me culture, which is a really, really cool thing, I think the audience chamber, the +1 immunity, does help in the later stages of the game. Although Warlord's Throne is going to scale really well with all the war we're planning on doing, I do think the audience chamber and the +1 immunity, we've got to go all in here. Having to really stretch my gold into difficult sort of spaces here, but look, there we go, that's shipbuilding, and I think I'm going to promote Pingala to get researcher. That doubles my science per term. If I can get shipbuilding quickly, I can get my settler down and round and try and settle on the coast in order to declare the war of territorial expansion. I think it's really important for me that I do that. Oh, they declared a surprise war against me. Ah, well, that's not what I expected, but sure. Sure, okay. I mean, we'll just deal with that as we will. Let's go for 3 inquiry again, and I think Saladin, do you want to join in with this war? Like, he declared on me. No, he's being a wimp. He doesn't want to join in at all. Brazil hasn't even been met. Okay, well, that's a pain, but it means we could. I mean, strategically, where do we want to go? Do we want to go for Kish first because it's got the weakest. It's the weakest city. So it might be the best option for us, actually. Here's the thing. I would love it if Sumeria got loads and loads of grievances. That would be quite fun. And I'd quite like to be able to condemn Islam. That would be funny. Because then I get loads of diplomatic favour just by condemning them in my own lands. Judaism gets plastered. Okay, fine. Well, Pedro gets it as well. That's good. That is good. How much? I get 135 gold from pillaging these districts. You know what? A pillaged-based war economy here is going to be a good old move for me. Let's, there's no point wasting my challenges just in case something stronger pops out. I'm just going to hold out for a little bit, but let's go for pillaging this gold, because the gold pillaging means that I can get more varus. Lovely. Yeah, look, there we go. Pikemen. I knew there'd be units. I knew there'd be units of tough. Okay. So what strength? 41 strength. So I should be able to challenge and... oh, actually, hang on. Let's just do that. Challenge and kill. Yeah, I thought I should be able to. The swordsmen as well. Those are a little scarier. But I'm letting them attack me at the moment. I've got reinforcements on the way. I mean, this swordsman is just being rude, quite frankly. Very, very rude. But, I mean... If I could get Suleiman in, I'd get Akkad in as well. So I really, really want to do that. They will give me 6 gold per turn to go to war with Pedro, though, for a war of retribution. So let's do that. I'm going to go to war with Pedro, because then they'll sort of do that. Now, will you join in with my war? Come on. Oh, so expensive. They will for a lot of stuff. So, yeah, I'd like them involved, because then Akkad will declare on them as well. And Akkad's a really, really... really good ally to have because of all the swordsmen they've got here. That'll distract Suleiman a lot. I did lose a bunch of gold per turn from a trade deal with Brazil, but I do think having Akkad on side makes a big difference. I think it's worth it. I do honestly think it's worth it. And plus I can settle down here. As soon as I can make peace with Sumeria, I will. I'll denounce them again, then I'll go for a war of territorial expansion because I'll be able to get a lot more combat strength against them. But for now, as you can see, my troops are doing alright. They're just sort of sitting here and politely just challenging and killing all of these units, healing themselves. I think I'm just waiting for reinforcements to come at the moment. Look at that. 1 population with Judaism, which means I can start to get things like meeting houses in. Actually, no, that's the Islam building, isn't it? But still, it's going to settle down here next to these elephants. Lovely. This just gives me the option to go for a war of territorial expansion a little bit later, if that's what I end up going for. Pingala is also going to treat himself to connoisseur, because 10 population in my capital, that's a lot of culture. Alright, war carts, get lost. Beowulf is... he's tired of your shenanigans, and this Varu actually can move a little bit further north. We're going to start to surround Kish, actually. Let's get charge as a promotion. I can charge you round in a second. That's nice. And please get off me. Ah, here we go. that's Moi. He's cool. He can put luxuries down and bonus resources down, and that's all good stuff for me. There we go. Finally got Owls of Minerva. That's quite exciting. It means I've got this extra policy card. Hooray! Right, settlers is something I really should be doing, but there's raid. Raid is useful. That's going to get me a lot more gold, a lot more stuff. Urban planning is giving me a little bit of stuff. Builders is getting me a little bit of stuff as well. I think, what else do I want to do? Yeah, settlers. I think settlers has got to be the best policy for me at the moment. I hate when this happens. The galley's gone all the way around here and then all the way back. It's like, no, explore over here. I don't need you to come back and explore the icebergs around my own capital. Honestly. Also, because we've actually built the government plaza, what I'm going to be doing quickly is shifting governments. When I can. In 5 turns. I'm going to get back to oligarchy, because it gives me a military policy slot and also gives me that +4 combat strength, which works really, really well. In the meantime, don't mind if Beowulf just heals himself fully. 108 science, pillaging, that's pretty good. Let's just think about what I want to be doing. I mean, really, knights would be quite useful. I don't have much iron, actually, though. Thinking about it. So is that really what I want to be doing? I mean, there's pikeman, strength 41. That's not bad. Maybe I need to be getting more boats. Boats are always a really good option. Engineering is a good option. I mean, really, I'm just not equipped at the moment for, like, a lot of war, so we're just going to have to go through early pickups, so like stuff like bronze working I can rush immediately through. More pillaging. Iron working is mine now. Construction, actually, that's a really good one. Oh, Himiko. Okay, she would help a lot. I just gave her a little bit of an envoy to Akkad. I've got a Varu being built in my city. I've got more army on the way. This is going to be, as I say, I'm not expecting a huge amount of success in this particular war. I'm just setting myself up for the next. But if I can steal Akkad, then I can get through Gilgamesh and stuff. Look, they'll give me 5 gold per turn for peace at the moment. That's pretty good. In fact, they will peace out for 3 cities. Kish, and Shurapak. Kish, and Shurapak. So it actually leaves the 3 central cities intact. That is not the best for me. It's not the outcome that I would particularly want, but it is a peace deal I would take. The reason for that is the iron per turn and the horses per turn they don't want to give me. They have a real problem with giving me that stuff, which is fair enough. Actually, Akkad is helping me siege the city. That is nice. That is nice indeed. I'm just going to take some faith, though, because I have a feeling when Beowulf is killed, well, getting him back is going to be tricky. You know, I think, weirdly enough, I might take the peace deal here, just purely because they're not going to give me any gold or any luxuries or anything like that. They're reticent to do that, which is fair enough. But by doing that, I don't have to go to war with them. I set up the next war because I can immediately denounce them. But let's just see quickly how the loyalty plays out in these cities. This city's only -5, so I could actually keep Kish, whereas I can't keep these 2 cities. But they do give me extra science whilst they're sort of around and ticking for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch Magnus into the city I can keep, which is Kish, and allow myself a little bit of time just to heal my units up a little bit. That will help massively. In the meantime, I could take all their gold by giving one of their cities back, which would be which is the least likely that I would keep. Although, admittedly, I could do some loyalty with that. I'm going to quickly get the devotion to Himiko going so I can steal Akkad. I will give that one city back because I can steal open borders from them, so that is good. So they've got that city back. I'm keeping this one, means I can reinforce my army, get everyone back together, build up enough faith actually in order to get my hero back when it inevitably disappears. 60 melee strength is much better. How many turns has he got on him? He's got 9 turns. 9 turns. So actually he will disappear by the time we can go back to war. So we need to make sure that we've got a better army than we had before. In the meantime, I can build up the population of this city quite nicely in order to get Himiko really, really ably and powerfully built. Brazil wants just a straight peace. Fortunately, they won't give me any of their cities because they're not afraid of me whatsoever, but that's okay. We'll have peace with them. Saladin, let's have a military alliance, shall we? I think this is a great celebration of our friendship. Lovely. Switch over to the governments. Let's go indeed for oligarchy just to get that plus. Oh no, the +4 is not even worth it at the moment, but just trying to think of the best, because I don't need raid anymore, just for a little bit. I do instead need maneuver to get more elephants going. Germany. Well, we've got a lot of people doing very well on this map so far. 128 science per turn. That's not bad. We need to make sure that we're really pulling this in. Our campus in Kish is doing pretty well, actually. And this city is a nice science input as well. Well, it would be if it was actually loyal. We'll end up losing that city. I think we could probably give the city back and get something for it. There you go. That's a good deal, seeing as we were going to lose it anyway. So all that gold and luxuries and resources. In fact, actually, Brazil, now that they've forgiven me, they're going to give me 18 gold per turn for my political fervor. Yeah, you know what? That's good. Do that for me. And we go military engineering. We do have some knights. Oh, here we go. Already in my new city. I knew settling down here was a good idea. There's some knighted down in that location. Okay, there's bits and pieces everywhere, actually. In fact, there's got to be Niter in Sumeria's empire somewhere. Probably settled on top of it. Normally the AI does manage to find a convenient settling spot where they can just sort of plunk themselves on it. Not that I believe the game is ever rigged at all, he says, very conspiratively. But with this envoy, I can go towards Akkad. There we go, there's a Samukong. I got a trader, which actually coincidentally is Akkad's quest. And once I do that, I can go Pajunk, steal Akkad, and then I can attack walls with full strength, which would be really good. Beowulf is about to be lost. I can't do much about that, but swordsmen for 360 is a possibility. Although I could try and get gunpowder, but I think at this stage it's probably a bit harder to do that. Yeah, it's quite a few techs to get to that point of the tech tree. I will give it a try, but for now, swordsman just gives me a little bit of leveraging power against the walls. I think it's worth getting one of those, just in case. Yeah, it is. So here we go. Akkad and Plonk. There we go. We are suzerains with Akkad now. 670 to buy all their units. It's not worth it because Saladin would clearly just go and steal them immediately, but at least we now have them on side, which means that my swordsman can do some decent damage to Gilgamesh. 2 turns. The Epic of Beowulf is gone, no. Oh well, it doesn't matter because there is Himiko. Our good friend Saladin is still at war with Gilgamesh, which is wonderful, and now we can territorially expand into them, which is fantastic. It gives all of my units +5 combat as well as +2 movement. I've got Himiko. I'm now at war with my military ally. It means that, quite frankly, we have a little bit more, we're going to have a little bit more success this time round, I hope. Saying that, +5 intel on opponent's movements. Is that what it's classified as? I guess it probably is. But yeah, here we go. Round 2. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Matthew Wilkinson and Salty Tech for all of your support on Patreon, as well as everybody else who's joining the community and making this place a fantastic space to be. Thank you guys, you keep me going.